Hello everyone, I'm Assistant Professor Yasvi Shezale from Agricultural Engineering Department. I'm here to teach you course number 243. Okay, and this is last and third course of Agricultural Engineering, and course title is Farm Power and Machinery. Now, what is meant by farm power? As we know that there are different operation has to be done on the farm. So whatever the power required for doing those operations, that is called as farm power. Okay, so there are different sources of farm power also. Then machinery, there are different types of machineries required, implements required for doing the different farm operations. Okay, and the total credits for this course, those are 2, that is 1 plus 1. Now this course include sources of farm power, then IC engine, then different components of IC engine, then different types of machineries, implements, and different types of tractor systems. Okay. So this session we will start with lecture number 1, which involves the following points. First point, that is farm power, sources in India, then scope of mechanization, then definition of mechanization, then benefits of mechanization, and last one, that is limitations and suggestions. Okay. So there are various types of work has to be done on the farms, which involves tractive works or mobile works and stationary works. Okay. Tractive works involves seedbed preparation, then cultivation, harvesting. Tractive work, it is also called as mobile work. Why? Because the movement of machineries takes place in tractive work, so it is called as mobile works also. There are different types of implements used for doing these different types of operations, like harrows, plows, then combine harvesters, etc. Okay, and cultivators also. Now next type of work, that is stationary works, which involves threshing, winnowing, etc. Okay, the entire work is completed using various sources of farm power. There are different sources of farm power, as we know that what is meant by farm power. Okay, now let's see the different sources of farm power which are available in India or which are used in India. So first one, that is human power, then animal power, then mechanical power, then electrical power, and last one, that is renewable power. Okay, now there are some examples of mechanical power, like tractors, power tillers, then oil engines. Okay, then different types of oil engines like diesel engines, petrol or kerosene engines. Okay, then last one, that is self-propelled combines. Okay, self-propelled means able to move by its own power. Okay, it doesn't depend on the another source of power. Then renewable power, there are different types of renewable powers we can generate again and again, so it is called as renewable power. Like biogas energy, this energy is obtained from the decomposition of organic matters. Okay, then solar energy, that is obtained from the sun. Okay, then wind energy, the source of the wind energy, that is wind. Okay, and then geothermal energy, this type of energy is obtained from the heat within the earth's surface. Okay, then last one, that is tidal energy, this energy is obtained from the tides. Okay, and that energy is converted into the useful works. Okay, now let's see the first farm power source, that is human power. Okay, this is the main source for operating small implements and tools at the farm, and stationary works also, like chaff cutting, then water lifting, threshing, winnowing, etc., and many other works are done by manual labors also. Then an average man can develop maximum power of about 0.1 horsepower. Okay, this is important. The average man can develop maximum power of about 0.1 horsepower. Okay, then next type of farm power source, that is animal power, which is developed by an average pair of bullocks of about 1 HP for useful farm work. This is also important. Okay, an average man can develop about 0.1 horsepower, and in animal power, the pair of bullocks can develop about 1 HP or 1 horsepower for useful farm works. Okay, Then bullocks are employed for all types of farm works in all seasons. Besides the bullocks, other animals also used like camels, buffaloes, horses, donkeys, mules and elephants are also used at some places. Okay. Then a draft animal. Okay, draft animals means an animal used for pulling heavy loads. So those are called as draft animals. Can exert about 1/10 of its body weight for doing farm work. Okay, so draft animal can exert how much power of its body weight, that is about 1/10. Okay, then mechanical power. Okay, what is mean by mechanical power? The mechanical power is generated by machines, engines, pulleys, etc. So it is called as mechanical power. Includes stationary oil engines, then tractors, power tillers and self-propelled combines. Okay, this power is used for the land preparation, then interculturing operations, then spraying, water pumping, harvesting, threshing, etc. Then oil engine is a good device for converting liquid fuel into the useful work, that is mechanical work. And there are different types of oil engines like petrol or kerosene engines. Okay, and diesel engine. Okay, then the thermal efficiency of diesel engine varies from 30 to 38%. Okay, this is also most important. The thermal efficiency of diesel engine, that is varies from 30 to 38%, and for petrol engine the thermal efficiency is varies from 25 to 32%. Okay, so thermal efficiency of diesel engine is higher than the petrol engine. Okay, in modern days almost all tractors and power tillers are operated by the diesel engines. Why? Because the diesel engines are more efficient than the petrol engine, because of diesel engines have high expansion ratio. Okay, now the diesel engines are used for doing different types of works or operations. Okay, then also for operating irrigation pumps, flour mills, oil ghanies, then cotton gins, chaff cutter, sugarcane crusher, threshers, winnowers, etc. Okay, the next source of farm power, that is electrical power. It is mostly used in the form of electrical motors. Okay, and motor is very useful machine for the farmers. It is clean, quiet and smooth running. Then its maintenance and operation needs less attention and care, but it requires high initial capital investment and requires good technical knowledge. Okay, then electrical power is used for water pumping, then dairy industries, then cold storage, farm product processing, food industries and many similar things. Okay, then last source of farm power, that is renewable energy, which is mainly obtained from the renewable sources of energy like sun, wind, biomass, etc. Then these energies are used in agriculture and domestic purposes with suitable devices. Okay, then renewable energy can be used for the lighting, cooking, then water heating, then water distillation, food processing, water pumping and electric generation. Okay, then this type of energy is inexhaustible in nature. The next point, that is concept of farm mechanization. What is meant by farm mechanization? The main concept of farm mechanization is to apply the principles of engineering and technologies to do the agricultural operations in a better way to increase the crop yield. Okay, so the main purpose of farm mechanization is to increase the production. Okay, and for that purpose we have to apply different types of principles of engineering and advanced technologies also. Okay, now scope of farm mechanization. Is there scope for the farm mechanization? Yes, there is a huge scope in farm mechanization, because improved irrigation facilities, then introduction of high yielding varieties. Okay, then increased use of higher doses of fertilizers and pesticides. So there is huge scope for the design of different types of sprayers, dusters based on their application rates, etc., and whatever the needs of the farmers or any particular crops, etc. Okay, then farm mechanization helps for the proper utilization of basic inputs like water, seeds and fertilizers, then optimum placement of the seed and fertilizers, then plowing, then removal of weeds, then leveling of uneven land and land reclamation. If the machines are used by the farmers, then his animals are relieved of the hard work. Okay, so there is huge scope in the farm mechanization. With the support of machines, farmer can do his job better and quicker. Okay, so he will get extra time for doing other works also. Then he will get more time to do other works. Then he can earn better living. Okay, now let's see the benefits of farm mechanization. Timeliness of operation, then precision of operation, then improvement of work environment, then enhancement of safety, then reduction in hard boring work of laborers, then reduction of loss of crops and food products. Okay, then increase the productivity of land, then increase the economic returns to the farmers. Okay, then improves the dignity of the farmer, then obviously progress and prosperity in the rural areas. Okay, now what are the limitations of the farm mechanization? Small land holdings. Okay, as we know that India, the farm is divided into, or the farm holdings or lands, farmlands which are divided into the small land holdings. So it is difficult to run the big machineries in those small land holdings, and it is more costlier. Okay, so this is one of the major limitation of farm mechanization. Then less investing capacities of farmers. Okay, some farmers are poor, so they cannot invest the more money in farm mechanization. Then agricultural labor is easily available. Okay, so then adequate availability of draft animals. Okay, then lack of suitable farm machinery for different operations, because there are different types of soils, so they have different types of properties, then soil structures, soil textures. Okay, then lack of repair and servicing facilities of machines, it is also important limitation of farm mechanization. Okay, then lack of trained manpower. Okay, then lack of coordination between research organization and manufacturer, then high cost of machines, then inadequate quality control of the machines. Okay, these are the limitations. Now what are the suggestions for the farm mechanization? To develop a national policy on a farm mechanization, then to establish an apex body to implement the national policy on the farm mechanization, then to start the testing and evaluating centers for the farm power and machinery on a regional basis. Okay, then to open the adequate training center for imparting the training to the engineers, then mechanics, then technicians. Okay, then operators and users on the farm power and machinery. Machinery regarding proper selection, then operation, maintenance and repair of machines. Okay, then to establish adequate centers for the repairs and spare parts of machine, this is most important suggestion. Then to reinforce the tractor testing stations on the lines of the international testing stations, then to improve the industrial policy for maintaining the better quality of the implement and machines. Okay, now this lecture is finished here, so thank you for listening.